When you read the book, you'll discover a character in the book who is a patrol officer, an ex-Geelong grammar school boy, and that character, John told me, was inspired by our next speaker, who is an ex-patrol officer and an ex-Geelong grammar school boy. He spent 10 years in Papua New Guinea in the 60s and 70s as an he was a patrol officer. He said that during that time, he has fond memories, not least for trying to balance his responsibilities for law and order, whilst retaining a good friendship with a number of fun-loving and mischievous mates, including our author tonight. Please welcome Mike Doust.
It's amazing, really. 40 years ago, for 10 years, I was in New Guinea and was responsible for law and order. And having read the draft of this book, a lot of memories, useful memories, did come back. But the first that came back was Dousty rang me 4 or 5 years ago when he was still living in the hills and prior to going to Albany, and asked for a cup of coffee, which my other half and I duly went to. And I thought it was just a couple of us, but it transpired there was about 10, 15 people there. And as we were putting a couple of tables together, one of them asked how I knew Dousty. I jokingly replied, I met him when I arrested him. Having read the draft of the book, I bloody well should have. And I think it's fair to say we, in the 60s, in New Guinea, pushed the boundaries. We had to create our own fun. And I know John's hierarchy weren't impressed with his behaviour at times. And I know some of the senior officers in the colonial administration was certainly lacking a sense of humour. That said, I know a number of you probably have read the book. To this day, it amazes me that 2 of the people that I can identify, and a number of the characters are obviously composite, but 2 of the characters that one can recognise in the script, one became an ambassador, who is now a Dame of the Realm, and another one's been knighted for his business expertise. So although we may have been a mob of retrobates back in the 60s, Dousty's gone on to great and wonderful things, and 2 of the people that you may well identify in the book are now a Sir and a Dame in their own rights. I think at the time none of us appreciated where we'd end up, and I don't think I envisaged, or any of us envisaged, John would end up as a successful author, comic, and another expat, Johnny, I know, ended up as a police chaplain. And I never would have envisaged that. But I can assure you, at no stage 40 years ago did we ever believe that John would end up following a pathway to the church. There was no way. It's fate that I'm, I guess, one of the only ones left from those New Guinea days here in Perth that knew John. And I've really taken on myself to congratulate him for the book Boy on the Wire, and it was listed for the Franklin Award, and Dousty, that was a great effort, mate. And secondly, on behalf of both the expatriate community that we had up in New Guinea that are now scattered throughout the world, they're all following diverse careers, but also on behalf of the Indigenous personnel, and certainly some of them I can recognise in the book, they'd be very proud of you too, John, and on their behalf, thank you, and thanks for bringing back those useful days and such a bloody good yarn. It's brilliant, I thoroughly recommend it to all and sundry. Thank you.